Na ka Jingpyniaid Ryntih ka Jingpyniaid ka Tnat Pule Puthi jong sarkar kari ka bala kata bahaya ka jingmut jing perkhat tang jong ki samla Pule. Henry ka bala kata ru ye ki kimi ki pa jong ki samla Pule ki bala tristom na ka bynta lagi jong ki khun. Ki nong ilam jong seng kongres ha ka jing kiran bat ki Nongpoh khubor menta ka sngi ha Nongba Shillong. Ki lapan pau ye ki jing sokhya ha lor ka longgaman jong ur Pnyniaid ye ka exam Neet ka bala kata ye ki samla ha ka ri baro ka wei da ka bong ba de tang ka jing lai tu ki jing keli ha ka exam Neet. Henry ka jing bomla jong ka National Testing Agency ban Pynthymmai Ryntih ya ki examin. Ki nong ilam jong seng kongres ki bakentup yo ba Elwar ubri chairman ka social media cell jong ka MPCC uba Manuel Badwar ubri working president ka MPCC kilong ba da ki lakngut ki samla Pule ki bala penkre ya ki exam Neet ki laisha pen pulom no ka jing pos new jong ki hadin balami ki kenrum kenram ha kor Pynthymmai ya ketik examin. Kinong ilam jong kongres ki laban jurro ba ka Tnat Pule Puthi jong sarkar ka de ban wan ra biang ye ka jing penbet ka betikna ha kor penbit penbiang ye ka Pule Puthi ha kari baro ka wei namar ka mat Pule Puthi ka de ka bakong san ha kari.
The Neet leak, paper leak, is just a symptom. I think most of you are aware of what happened in the last 1 month with regards to the leakage of the Neet paper. This was in May, and 5 days after the exam was conducted, it had to be cancelled when a leak was detected. There was a guidebook that was in circulation, and when the investigators checked the data and the information of the guidebook, they realized that almost 60 to 70% of the questions that were being circulated actually were from the main paper. That's the reason. That's the main reason why the Neet exam was cancelled eventually, and it was rescheduled in June. And the numbers are quite staggering because if you look at the numbers, more than 22 lakh aspirants had to attend this exam, and it was cancelled in May, as I mentioned earlier, because a guest paper circulating in coaching hubs was found to overlap heavily with the real paper. It was reconducted on 21st June 2026 at 5,440 centers across 551 cities and 14 centers abroad, mobilizing hundreds and thousands of personnel. So for us, this repeated leakage of question papers is a great cause of concern. I'm saying this Rahul Gandhi opened his speech in Kota. He said, this is not about the Congress, and he was not going to talk about the Congress or the BJP. This is us, parents, concerned citizens. For example, I'm a third generation teacher here, and my colleague over here, Mr. Bankhra, is a teacher by profession. He runs a school. Manuel has families, right, who are in the teaching profession. Like I said, I'm a third generation teacher. My family has set up 2 schools. We've set up 1 college. And on top of that, almost all my cousins, all my aunts are in the teaching profession. So for us, it's really a cause of concern because the need, it's just a symptom. The disease, the ailment is somewhere else. And for us, we felt that it's very, very important that that we highlight where the ailments are. And for us to understand where the issues are, we have to look at the numbers. For example, I've shared the numbers with you. If you look at the combined public spending on education,
we believe so that somebody, we always say that somebody has to bend the cat. The buck has to stop somewhere. And the buck at this time has to stop with the education minister, the union minister. I think it's very important that we stick to that. And the government also takes it, shows at least that it takes it a lot more seriously than what it has been doing. We also say that, that whatever leakage that has happened in the past, I think there should be a time-bound investigation towards the various leakages that has happened, because the public needs to know, the students needs to know, and especially people who are aspiring, because then you'll build the confidence level amongst the students as far as students is concerned, because I think it's been eroding, and it's eroded quite heavily right now. So most of the students have given up on the system itself. Full disclosure of the Radhakrishnan committee recommendations were actually implemented. So that we have to know. Restructuring and replacement of the NTA with a transparent, accountable, properly staffed body, right? As I think Balan has mentioned earlier, that it's more or less everything seems to be heading down to commercialization.
It is.
And the BJP is more interested in actually making money from each and every system that might exist. And I think that is something that needs to be looked at more seriously. And the NTA, definitely a restructuring of the NTA is a legitimate demand from our side. As far as teachers are concerned, I think the numbers have already been spelled earlier. It's quite a huge number, nearly 10 lakhs now. We believe that many vacancies, and I think the ugly face is even being seen in Shillong, right? So Nehu itself has a huge amount of teaching staff which is not filled, and there's no intention to refill them. I think that will definitely impact the education system, which is very basic, but then it's very important that that has to be taken into account. Um, uh, the students who have been betrayed, right? Most of the students, I think it's becoming a health issue. Yeah. So the mental health of many of these students who has gone through such a traumatic experience, I think it's the government's responsibility to take care of them. It's the government's responsibility to ensure that no harm is done to them, because it's of no fault of theirs. And I think that's also very important. Parliamentary debate on the future of national education and the national testing itself. I think so. The government should open up and should not just keep on shunning people from discussing this on Parliament. And I think the floor of the Parliament is an important democratic tool in which everybody can voice out their opinions and so on and so forth, and the truth will come out. Yeah, and that's also one of the important things. And we believe that these are the demands in which it's legitimate from our side. And I believe so that even from the central's point of view, the Congress is heavily into this, and we would also like to share this with all of you. Thank you. Yeah.